Authority possesses a distinct appearance that one can identify it immediately. The manner in which an individual enters a room and the atmosphere shifts to silence. It is evident in their tendency to speak sparingly yet convey depth, listened intently. It is evident in their perpetual inability to appear hurried, never convey a sense of urgency, never appear to require the presence of others. That is not assurance. That lacks charm. That is an entity of significantly greater peril. It is a somber disposition, the type of presence that encourages individuals to reconsider their actions before proceeding. One might consider you. Machiavelli posited that fear holds greater significance, more dependable than affection. When one carries, equip yourself with this advantage, individuals cease perceiving you as innocuous. They commence meticulously assessing each utterance in your presence. The influential have consistently grasped this concept. Confidential. They do not smile for the sake of gaining approval. They do not elucidate for the sake of comprehension. They present themselves with an air of ownership, the foundation upon which they stand, and society accepts it as truth. In this presentation, I will elucidate the process by which you can establish that presence and the rationale behind those. Holder of advantage from your vulnerabilities will strive to maintain a demeanor that is gentle, accommodating, and non-threatening. Authority does not originate from mere language. It commences with existence. Prior to uttering a word, individuals are already assessing you, evaluating you, determining if you are an individual of admiration or disregard. A somber the disposition serves as the instrument that transforms that. The decision rendered is advantageous to you. Observe those individuals who inherently possess authority, consideration. They do not engage in rapid conversation. Individuals she refrain from providing explanations. They do not request authorization to be. They possess themselves as though each moment is inherently theirs. Those individuals. Consequently, due to their conviction, there are those who share this belief as well. Machiavelli this was comprehended centuries prior. Within the prince cautioned sovereigns against the folly of presenting themselves feeble or ambiguous. Human motivations are often influenced by the dual forces of fear and love, with fear playing a significant role. Endures for an extended duration. He refrained from informing the leaders to instill a profound sense of fear in all. He was imparting knowledge. Them to emanate assurance. Should individuals show that you cannot be easily influenced, they hold you in high regard, even in the absence of a clear understanding of the reasons behind it. The initial phase in establishing this present-sized tempo. Proceed with greater deliberation. Articulate your thoughts at a more measured pace. Observe individuals for a duration sufficient for them to experience sight, yet not to such an extent that it transforms into aidist of one's abilities. Upon addressing an inquiry, first, take a moment to pause. A brief pause creates your words carry greater weight. Individuals who hastily articulate their thoughts indicate apprehension. Individuals who approach the power of a time signal. Secondly, reduce your articulation, not solely in tone, but also in amplitude. Articulate your thoughts with the utmost precision, as if each word carries significant weight. One may observe individuals starting to lean in to pay attention. The act of engaging physically, thus modifying one's perception to truly listen, is the initial indication of authority. Third, regulate your responses. Individuals may challenge you deliberately or involuntarily. They will attempt to incite you, interject, or compel you to provide justification. Oneself, refrain from providing them with what they desire. Exhibit neither a flicker of ire nor a subtle movement of vexation. When an individual endeavors to entice you, merely observe them and persist. Remain motionless. The profound silence will undoubtedly disturb them, significantly beyond what mere shouting could achieve. Feeble individuals often engage in extensive self-explanation. Resilient individuals refrain from such actions. If one were to make a decision and uphold it with conviction, should an individual request justification, provide it. A concise statement rather than an extended discourse. The greater the elaboration, the deeper the uncertainty you evoke. Disclose. A somber disposition flourishes in enigma, and that encapsulates the fundamental nature of existence. Embrace the art of obscurity. Should individuals be unable to anticipate your response, they proceed cautiously, meticulously. They are mindful of their language. Individuals afford you the necessary distance as ambiguity evokes. Perilous. Engage in this activity daily. Existence. Upon your next entrance into a room, pause momentarily, engage in a brief discourse, and then take a moment to reflect and observe. Observe who becomes aware of your presence initially. When an individual communicates with you, postpone your response by 2 moments. When one is inquired about a personal, inquire, respond succinctly, and transform it. Return to them. One will observe the dynamic transition with remarkable immediacy. Power is experienced well in advance of its articulation. Conduct yourself as if one possesses an inherent completeness, requiring neither external validation nor material possessions. 1. Navigate with a sense of authority over the chamber. When one behaves in such a manner, individuals will modify their conduct in response to oneself. They might remain unaware of the underlying reasons. This serves as the basis for a somber disposition, calm command, measured vigor, and a presence that resonates more profoundly than lexicon. Upon achieving mastery in this area, all else will follow. Everything else becomes more manageable. Respect is something that must be cultivated prior to your arrival. Even articulate your thoughts. Throughout your existence, you have been advised to embody. Exhibiting kindness towards others often elicits a reciprocal response of kindness in return. That guidance is often relegated to the realm of children's literature. In the tangible realm, acts of kindness are infrequently observed, reimbursed. It has been subjected to exploitation. Machiavelli cautioned, leaders should not rely solely on loyalty. Alliances are ephemeral. Individuals often exhibit warmth and camaraderie when they find themselves in need of assistance, and lacking in presence when they are not. Should your objective to gain favor, one must cater to the needs of all, but rather yourself. Should your objective be to attain, it is imperative that you cease your pursuit. Consent in its entirety. A somber disposition does not necessarily imply animosity. It pertains to a lack of concern. There is no necessity for you to persuade others to hold a favorable opinion of you. 1. Refrain from pursuing external affirmation. Your appreciation for individual agency regarding their expressions of joy. The individual, those who seek approval are inclined to make concessions, the foundations of their beliefs. The individual those who command respect will depart without hesitation. Uncertainty. Examine with discernment those who ascend to the leading in commerce, governance, and societal matters. Circles. They do not extend their camaraderie to all. They possess allies, yet are accompanied by a limited number of companions. Those individuals articulate with intention rather than with haste. Individuals reveal minimal information about their personal lives. Individuals prioritize substance over superficial acclaim, and that is the reason individuals gravitate towards them rather than distant. Commence your practice. Calculated separation. There is no necessity for you to express each viewpoint, each sentiment, each nuance of your existence. Upon your engagement, engage in discourse with intention. Maintain your voice is composed and your sentences are articulated with precision. Permit others ponder the depths of your thoughts instead of revealing it outright for them. Be mindful of your personal habits. Are you inclined to? Is it necessary to smile frequently to provide reassurance to others? Engage in action. One hastily acquiesces merely to evade, causing disappointment to another individual. Do you provide excessive detail? The decisions you make stem from a sense of apprehension regarding disagreement. These are the practices of an individual seeking approval. Disrupt them. At what point, when faced with a challenge, maintain your composure. To persuade them effectively, refrain from using the phrase, please, comprehend. Rather, articulate less. Maintain your position with composure. The fewer efforts you exert to convince, the greater their initiation. Engaging in self-reflection. This matter does not pertain to exhibiting discourteous behavior. The focus is on educating individuals to regard you as an individual whose time and attention is a limited resource. and what is limited attains significance at your earliest convenience. To all, your contributions are often overlooked. Establishing distance engenders respect among individuals. The access that is available to them, relating to the past, concerned with events that have occurred and their significance. Leaders grasp this concept intuitively. They refrain from expending effort to demonstrate that they were pleasant. They demonstrated resilience through exercising discernment. Their endorsement signified an issue rose due to their failure to provide it. Express oneself without restraint. One must cultivate the ability to retreat unexpectedly. Politely refuse invitations. Devoid of elucidation. Decline without remorse. A somber disposition does not pertain to alienating individuals. It is concerning the necessity of having them strive to attain proximity. When you cease to be the companion of all, cease to be the subordinate to all, a remarkable occurrence unfolds. Individuals begin to approach you according to your conditions. Individuals select their vocabulary with greater precision. Individuals pause to consider before expending your time unnecessarily. Individuals, I am uncertain if you will concur, however. They are aware that you will remain unyielding to external pressures. That ambiguity engenders a sense of reverence towards you. Furthermore, regard, rather than fondness, constitutes the basis of authority. Anger does not equate to strength. It evokes a sense of strength in the present moment. However, unbridled rage perpetually reveals fragility. When you manifest in a fit of anger, you are conveying that another presence has infiltrated your thoughts and manipulated the mechanisms you have evolved. Responsive, reactive individuals are rather straightforward to forecast, readily influenced, simple to eradicate. The somber disposition alters this entirely. Rather than allowing anger govern it, you dominate it. 1. Convert sentiment into quantifiable metrics. In order to the external observer, you seem steadfast, serene in instances when others are not. Failing to maintain their poise. The tranquility observed does not convey a sense of benevolence. It conveys a sense of peril. Contemplate the individuals who genuinely disturb your equilibrium. Are they the individuals who exhibit vocal outbursts, forcefully close doors, and display emotional upheavals? Or are they the individuals who choose to maintain their silence, observing your plight? Biding my time as you succumb to the flames yourself beyond. The initial group pertains to emotions, while the subsequent group relates to deadly. One can anticipate the exclamation. One cannot foresee the actions of the reticent individual. Machiavelli commended leaders who enacted retribution without fury. He comprehended that when authority behaves in a detached manner, devoid of apparent feeling, it feels unequivocal. If one can gaze into the eyes of another, the gaze, and render a choice that inflicts detriment, him in a calm manner, without any elevation in tone, without a quiver of uncertainty, individuals hold the conviction that you possess the ability to any subject matter. It is that conviction that sustains them. In order, commence the process of educating yourself to postpone your responses. When an individual disparages you, opposes you, or even candidly, when confronted with an attack, it is prudent to refrain from an immediate response. Allow for a brief interlude, a mere 2 seconds of silence that seems to stretch into infinity. The alternative individual. This accomplishes 2 objectives. It inhibits the impulsive expression of thoughts, feeble, and it evokes a sense of your regulation. When you ultimately choose to articulate your thoughts, it unfolds gradually and gently, as though the result has been determined to align with your interests. Utilize anger as an internal signal rather than an external instrument of force. The instant you perceive the ascent of warmth prompts one to affirm, "This is my indication to proceed still." The more composed you manifest in response to stimulation, the greater you appear to possess an unsettling quality. Should they be unable to, they may attempt to incite a reaction, yet they remain unable to foresee your responses. If they are unable to foresee your actions, they simply cannot exercise authority over you. Silence serves as your most formidable instrument. Individuals are apprehensive about it. In the absence of action, promptly elucidate, rationalize, or advocate oneself. They begin to address the voids. Through their creative faculties, what they conceive is nearly invariably more unfavorable than any statement you might have made. Even a brief moment of unwavering eye contact, while an individual endeavors to penetrate your complexion, will induce a sense of unease in them due to it remains unclear whether one is unperturbed or strategizing an endeavor. Herein lies a strategy. In instances of being treated with disregard, refrain from publicly expressing your displeasure. Refrain from elevating your voice or intimidate anyone. Merely cease, observe them briefly, then proceed onward, as though they are unworthy of attention. The reaction penetrates more profoundly than any exclaimed phrases. What is the rationale behind this? Due to its implication, you lack emotionality. You are engaging in computation. Individuals who are methodical and deliberate, perilous, measured indignation provides you with self-control. It influences each action you ultimately create an impression of intentionality instead, rather than hasty. When one chooses to engage in a confrontation with another individual, it will resonate with all those in your vicinity as equity rather than retribution. This presence prompts individuals to reconsider their thoughts prior to traversing your path, as they come to understand you do not exhibit tendencies toward impulsive outbursts arbitrarily. You are the kind who engages solely at critical junctures. History bestows its favor upon this cognitive framework. Roman generals were not regarded with fear due to their vociferous cries during the conflict. However, as they navigated serenely amidst turmoil, unperturbed, chief executives and global leaders who reach the pinnacle are seldom the individuals who express their emotions in each assembly. They are the individuals who maintain an inscrutable demeanor, who never reveal their true thoughts. Their quietude compels individuals to proceed with caution, meticulously, as the whereabouts remain uncertain. The boundary is or the consequences of transgressing it, and therein lies the essence. The fewer you demonstrate, the greater the capacity for others to conceive. What is it that you seek? What they envision is invariably more dire than the veracity, the apprehension, devoid of boisterous menaces or sudden outbursts. Maintaining composure is essential for retaining control. A significant number of individuals seek validation and esteem from others. They desire acclaim, acknowledgement, prominence. They believe that receiving accolades enhances their standing. Formidable. In truth, admiration colors a mark upon your person. The instant individuals, they begin to regard you with admiration. Observing your actions, they assess your capabilities, juxtapose them with their own, and commence strategizing on how to restrain you. Machiavelli grasped this concept centuries prior. He cautioned that unrestrained authority incites trepidation. Moreover, apprehension fosters coalitions that may conspire against you. When individuals recognize your strength, they make arrangements for you. However, when they hold a conviction, one's presence is innocuous, allowing others to feel at ease. Their sentinel falls. Their hubris leads to carelessness. It is at that moment that victory is attained. A somber disposition perceives existence, viewed not as a slight but as concealment. When individuals disregard your contributions, it is not necessary to rectify their misconceptions. You permit them to proceed. Their erroneous assessment is an instrument of power at your disposal. They present to you the identity of individuals. They disclose their intentions, are expressed candidly because they perceive you as lacking strength or being insufficient. Unwise to observe. This does not imply feigning to be ineffectual or lamentable. It signifies an absolute negation, demonstrating your complete capabilities. If one is exceptional, conceal it until the precise moment it is at your service. If you possess the ability, allow some perceive your capabilities as unassuming. Articulate with clarity, engage in incremental adjustments, achieve victory, absent of festivity. When individuals perceive you as inferior to your true self, they cease to regard you as an adversary and begin to regard you as an observer. The eminent figures of authority throughout history infrequently made their presence known. Individuals engaged in attentive listening rather than dominating the conversation. Individuals, permitted more boisterous and assertive individuals to do not undervalue their capabilities. Subsequently, at that moment when the timing was impeccable, they disclosed merely sufficient power to overcome the adversaries with a singular action. The reserved gentleman seated in the periphery of the chamber is seldom perceived as a menace until the moment he resolves to take action. Within the context of your personal experiences, this principle is universally applicable. In the realm of business, it is prudent to withhold certain skills from disclosure. Possess on your inaugural day. Allow others to form their own conclusions. One continues to acquire knowledge even as one engages in various activities, engaging in their study. In times of discord, refrain from engaging in combat. Each allegation, acknowledge, concur where it incurs no expense. Observe as the adversary becomes increasingly self-assured. In the realm of negotiation, conduct yourself as if you are receiving the least favorable outcome in the arrangement while subtly arranging oneself to achieve considerable advantage. Further elaboration will follow at a later time. The essence lies in mastery. You possess strength. There is no necessity for you to demonstrate your fortitude to all individuals. Individuals who perpetually proclaim their intelligence, resilience, or they are perilous, disclosing a singular truth. Uncertainty. Those who truly possess authority do not require to exhibit it. They determine the timing of their presentation. It, being undervalued, also provides a form of protection you from jealousy. When one exhibits evident brilliance, individuals desire to dismantle your foundations. Upon observation, the commonplace, they overlook you. Thus, it follows that precisely what you desire as you are, establishing your stance. Envy represents perilous due to its capacity to bring individuals together in opposition to you. Indifference serves a purpose as it allows one navigates with tranquility. When one conceals their genuine capability, you possess the freedom to navigate. In the absence of opposition, no individual endeavors to obstruct that which remains unseen. And at the moment when the moment arrives to unveil your true essence, truly competent in, it has already become too late for anyone to impede your progress. That is indeed the reality, the strength found in being overlooked. You achieve victory before your adversaries become aware. A contest was even held. Engage in a strategic approach that prioritizes enduring outcomes over immediate gratification. Avoid pursuing immediate acknowledgement. Pursue advantageous positions. Refrain from making demands verification. Insist on outcomes. Allow individuals deride you. Allow them to believe they are exceptional. Each instance they fail to recognize the true potential. Information is presented to you, benefit and duration. Subsequently, upon taking action, execute it unexpectedly and devoid of sentiment. There will be no oratory, no celebration of triumph, no "I had previously indicated this outcome." Only outcomes. The astonishment will incapacitate them. They will lack the opportunity to confront you, as they were wholly unprepared for such an eventuality. You to possess an inherent threat from the outset. Bear this in mind. Unrestrained strength beckons. Assault. Concealed power beckons. Prospect. The somber disposition does not, must illuminate. It must make its impact. Furthermore, no individual delivers a more profound impact than the one who does not. One anticipated. The majority of individuals squander an effort to annihilate their adversaries. They perceive triumph as domination, resistance entirely, meticulously eroding each adversary reduced to mere particles. However, the somber disposition perceives an alternative of greater utility. A foe is merely a challenge. A foe is a asset. Machiavelli noted that astute leaders frequently derive greater benefits from their adversaries rather than from acquaintances. What is the rationale behind this? Due to adversaries exhibit a certain degree of predictability. Your companions bestow upon you compliments, convey what you seek to understand, and anticipate reciprocation. Adversaries exhibit you their authentic essence. Their animosity is genuine, and genuine animosity can be directed. diverted, perhaps even utilized as a tool of influence. The initial action is to cease consumption. Animosity on a personal level. Should an individual express dissent, do not respond with anger. Respond with inquisitiveness. Contemplate the reasons behind their animosity towards me. What is it that you seek to understand? What is it that they desire? What is it that instills fear in them? There, the underlying intentions expose their vulnerabilities, and their vulnerabilities illuminate the potential for growth. Utilized. Herein lies the paradox. An unwavering companion might deceive you driven by a desire for advancement. However, an overt adversary seldom conceals their purposes. Opposition is already present. That outcome was entirely predictable. Moreover, due to their motivated by a sense of pride or indignation, they frequently proceed directly into the pitfalls of their own making, creating. The somber disposition does not hasten to eradicate such individuals. It enables them exist, navigate, and reveal their intentions. There exist numerous strategies to transform adversaries into instruments. Firstly, employ them as illustrative cases. When an individual attempts to assail you and ultimately falls short, do not merely achieve victory. Ensure that it is recognized by the broader audience. Allow their defeat should be regarded as a cautionary tale for others. An overwhelmed adversary serves as a more resonant instructor than 100 speeches. Utilize them as a means of concealment. At times, an adversary may assume responsibility for actions that were necessary to occur, yet could not be apprehended engaging in. Should you possess knowledge what they intend to pursue, you may allow them to do so. Engage in action while maintaining a reflective distance. Assimilate the repercussions. Utilize them as a means of enticement. Competitors draw interest, competitors of their own, by permitting one. As adversaries ascend, you entice others into the unsealed. They engage in a relentless struggle, empowering you without the necessity of physical exertion. Digit. Utilize them as a means of influence. N. The adversary's resistance may render you seemingly resolute, perhaps even admirable. Individuals command admiration. A person who remains resolute in the face of adversity. Each affront directed towards you has the potential to transform. Evidence of your fortitude if you do not recoil. The key lies in mastery. You consistently refrain from allowing the adversary is aware of their utility. Address. Regard them as a threat rather than a companion. Consistently strive to be ready to act should they become overly robust. However, until that moment arrives, one must persist in resistance. The allure of eradicating them. Untimely. A fallen adversary remains voiceless. An adversary engages in discourse, devises plans, and reveals truths themselves, and that data is invaluable. Throughout history, there exists a multitude of sovereigns who achieved a profound understanding of this. Rather than obliterating, they positioned their rivals directly against one another. In opposition, engaging their attention. During the process of centralizing authority, Machiavelli held in high regard those leaders who exhibited a lack of fear. Animosity, yet channeled it. Should two adversaries harbor animosity towards one another that surpasses their disdain for you, they no longer pose a significant risk. They are a defensive barrier. In the realm of daily existence, this principle persists, is applicable. Within the professional environment, an evaluator who there are always uncertainties regarding your potential to achieve. Triumphs appear significantly more substantial when one achieves success. In the realm of commerce, the assertiveness of a rival has the potential to deter other competitors, providing you greater capacity for development. In social contexts, an individual attempting to undermine your standing may inadvertently emphasize your autonomy. Individuals are often observed when they remain solitary without trepidation. The somber disposition exhibits a remarkable sense of patience. It does not pursue immediate retribution or emotional satisfaction. Triumphs. It allows adversaries to fulfill the objective, and when their utility is weary, it concludes them with precision and unexpectedly, without embellishment. No resentments, merely productivity. Take note of this. Companions may exhibit gentleness and inconsistent. Adversaries remain vigilant. Individuals assess you, fortify you, and unveil actions that allies would never undertake. Refrain from squandering that offering by eliminating them prematurely. Allow them to contribute on your behalf, regardless of their awareness. It is a matter of perspective. The most profound strength does not reside. Eradicating dissent equates to mastering it. Each lesson you have encountered transcends mere information. The concept is akin to a sharp instrument you have acquired knowledge on. To remain in quietude and compel individuals disquieted, you have acquired the skill to conceal your emotions should guide us to act at the appropriate moment rather than impulsively. When one is informed, it has come to your understanding that adversaries do not merely present challenges. They serve as a source of motivation. The somber disposition does not pertain to the process of becoming another individual. It concerns the process of removing layers, the vulnerability of individuals who are excessively attached to you, the insincere expressions, the desire for validation, the anxiety regarding solitude. Machiavelli did not compose for the revered. He composed for individuals who have endured and overcome adversity. He composed for sovereigns who comprehended that the world does not bestow recognition unless you are presented with two options. Disregard, consider all that you have just encountered and retain it, performing the character they crafted for you. Alternatively, embrace this mindset as a protective shield, serene, keen and irrefutable. The instant you cease to express regret for your fortitude, the instant you cease articulating your thoughts, the instant you cease pursuing affection and beginning to assert control. Respect leads to liberation from control. If this series ignited a profound awakening within you, demonstrate it, refine it, embody it, and when you are prepared for the subsequent step, I shall be present. Herein lies the matter. Engage with our content and immerse yourself completely into the influence they anticipated you would never uncover.